Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. An early WWE storyline involving Stephanie McMahon's character was her affair with Tess, a former Intercontinental Champion. Their romance began after the latter asked the billion-dollar princess out on a date on the Raw show from June 7, 1999, and she accepted. The pair were engaged after spending a few weeks together. But Stephanie had amnesia just before their wedding when the British Bulldog threw a metal garbage can at her, hitting her in the head. The billion-dollar princess couldn't place her fiance, so they had to put the wedding off. After Stephanie regained consciousness, the plot continued with her proposing to Tess within the wedding ring, symbolizing their reunion as the ceremony resumed. However, Triple H revealed that he had wed Stephanie in a Las Vegas drive-thru while under the influence of drugs on the November 29 edition of Raw, thereby disrupting the ceremony. Tess requested time to reflect about what had transpired, even though Stephanie apologized to him on the next SmackDown broadcast. Tess and the billion-dollar princess ultimately broke up on the Blue Show's December 11 edition after 6 months of dating. A sobbing apologizing to Tess and explaining that she had no intention of anything bad happening, Stephanie then removed her wedding ring and returned it to him. He assured his ex-fiancée that she would remain in his heart forever, the former Intercontinental Champion. X-Pac broke up the kissing moment just as it was about to happen. Stephanie McMahon betrayed her father, Vince, and took a stand with the game, despite her earlier attempts to terminate her marriage to Triple H by having him sign an annulment. They were a dominant duo for almost 3 years in the Stamford-based company before their clumsy split on WWE Raw. Stephanie falsely claimed to be pregnant during Triple H's 2002 injury comeback, citing her fears that he was about to leave her as the reason. After that, they decided to have a ceremony broadcast live on WWE Raw to rekindle their vows. But Linda McMahon, the game's mother-in-law, phoned him just before he entered the ring to tell him her daughter had lied to him about being pregnant. Rather than celebrating their renewed vows in a romantic ceremony, Triple H dumped his wife, broke the news that their marriage was ended, and used a pedigree to blackmail her father. That was the most memorable moment for the billion-dollar princess on WWE Raw, according to her subsequent selections. Theatrical matches, big personalities, and high-octane action have long been hallmarks of professional wrestling. However, real-life drama abounds in the WWE world behind the scenes, often surpassing the in-ring antics. An example of this is the famed but short-lived romance that occurred between Stephanie McMahon, the most powerful woman in WWE, and an ex-WWE star who had an affair with the future ruler of the McMahon dynasty. After only 6 months of dating, the ex-WWE star famously said, "It's best for everybody." The realm of professional wrestling was her home as Stephanie McMahon, daughter of WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, grew up. She was an iconic figure for the brand and a member of the family's long line of business leaders. Stephanie was engaged with WWE's creative side at an early age, and her on-screen image proved crucial to several significant storylines for the organization. Outside of the ring, too, her reputation for sharp intelligence, commercial acumen, and familial loyalty was well known. The World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, was a breeding ground for future superstars in the 90s and zeros. Among them was a young, charming wrestler that Stephanie McMahon fell for. As they spent time together on the road, traveling to events, and bonding during the long hours of the WWE tour, their romance evolved behind the scenes. Their relationship seemed to be an exciting, if brief, chapter in their life, and the ex-WWE star whose identity has often been concealed or left unsaid because of the delicate nature of the issue, developed strong feelings for Stephanie. Dating Stephanie McMahon, meanwhile, is quite different from dating any other WWE lady. Being involved with Vince McMahon's daughter added an extra layer of difficulty and pressure. People inside WWE took note of the connection quickly, even if it may have begun innocently enough. Word got out that the developing relationship was causing some tension behind the scenes. The potential for personal and professional connections to get deeply entangled in the wrestling industry was well known to many staff and performers, particularly when the McMahon family was involved. Given Stephanie's prominence within the organization, some inside WWE were apprehensive about the connection because they were afraid it may hurt the wrestler's career if things went bad. The constant shadow of Vince McMahon was another source of stress. Vince was very protective of his daughter, despite his dominance over WWE. If Stephanie's love involvement became a source of backstage rumors and speculation, or a distraction from WWE's business, he would surely scrutinize it. Reportedly, tension started to rise as time passed. Not helping matters was the media's focus on the couple, which led many to wonder how the wrestler's increasing intimacy with Stephanie might influence his status among other famous people. Any advantage might spark hostility in WWE's notoriously cutthroat atmosphere. The 6-month affair ended suddenly when the ex-WWE star made a choice he subsequently described as best for everybody. The wrestler said in interviews given following the separation that dating someone of Stephanie's status inside WWE was too much to bear. There were always going to be expectations, and it was becoming harder to put work before emotions. The wrestler claims that breaking up with the girlfriend was not an easy choice. He had developed true feelings for Stephanie, but with her family's connections to WWE, her father's involvement, and the difficulties of maintaining a relationship in such a public and competitive setting, he realized it was best to end things peacefully before they got out of hand. Despite the joy and significance of their connection, he allegedly informed Stephanie in an open moment that it was too difficult to sustain. He reasoned that if they broke up, they could both concentrate on their jobs without having to worry about any conflicts arising from their personal and professional lives intersecting. With his words, "It's best for everybody." Their short affair ended quietly, yet with a touch of bittersweetness.